Okay, are we ready with the content? Okay, you ready to go? All right. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the Digital Edge live from the Digital Media Arts Studio at Jeff Tech. No, not a blank screen. Why don't we start with the split screen where we're showing the content on the screen? Guys, in the booth, we're live. Okay, what's going on? Should we start the stream over again? We are experiencing technical problems. Guys, what's going on in there? Let's get it going, please. There we go. Excellent. All right, let's try this again. Let's go back to the main scene. We're practicing our show flow, okay? Now, we want to cue that up to where you can see the logo. This is only our second time that we've tried this, so we're trying this now with multiple NDI sources, very complex setup. All right, take us back to the main scene. DJ Malachi, bring us up some music. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. All right, here we go. Thank you so much for tuning into the Digital Edge. My name is Instructor Sam Otero, Digital Media Arts Program, here live at Jeff Tech. Sitting at the big desk with me, Trey Cole, and behind the main controls, Melody. Let's put our hands together for our crew. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off. Give me a split screen in the booth there, boy. There we go. Let's go ahead and, hey, you want to fix that scene when we're offline? Make sure that the content in the split screen is centered in there. DJ Malachi, bring that music down. And let's go ahead and kick this off. Melody, you got audio on that thing? Bring up the full screen of that NDI source and hit play. Back to the beginning of the playlist, kid. Welcome to the Digital Edge, live from the Digital Media Arts Studio at Jeff Tech, Jefferson County Du Bois AVTS in Reynoldsville, Pennsylvania. Digital Media Arts, where you can be you. Give me a split screen there, son. All right. Split screen. There we go. What are we talking about today, kids? What do we got going on today? Audio production. We're continuing our unit on audio production 101. We are looking at the basics of audio production. Today we're going to talk about the science of audio waves, how frequency affects our material world, and how we utilize waveforms to edit audio. We're going to kick this off with one of my favorite bands in the world, Ojos de Brujo. Of course, the students are going to be moving into live event production and music production as well. The end game in this unit is going to be what, guys? Podcasting. DJ. Thank you, DJ Malachi. Let's go ahead and kill that YouTube channel. Go to the next mix on the playlist. All right, I want to remind you guys, if you would, you want to mute that audio, please, in the live stream from that NDI source. I just want to start today reminding you what we covered last week when we started this unit. We gave you guys, hint, 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 as you move forward with this unit and you are doing your research on your dream podcasting system and preparing for your presentations, this video that we introduced to you last week is a valuable resource for you, where we took a look at a DAW signal flow. And what is a DAW?
An acoustic guitar that we needed to pick up with a microphone, which we then feed into
digital
our
audio
digital
works.
audio interface.
Cole gets the green star. Good job, buddy. All right, let's move to the next video.
Synthesizer that you just plug in.
And we also talked about, go ahead and play that. We also talked about introducing the concept and the science of sound, how sound is produced from a sound wave hitting a microphone, the diaphragm of the microphone resonating, turning that into an electrical impulse, resulting in a digital wave form. And we talked about making sure that we had good, clean audio. What happens when audio is clipped? What is the result? Trey, turn that microphone on.
Distortion.
Distortion, absolutely. How can you identify distortion? By listening. How can you identify distortion and clipping? By viewing your visual scopes and your audio waveforms in your audio editing software. We covered that in the audio portion of our video unit last year before Christmas, and we discussed it again last week. Again, that resource is in our YouTube playlist for you if anybody out there watching in our home audience is interested. Now, by the way, when I'm doing this, yeah, there you go. Make sure the videos, you can scrub through and like jump through those videos. Let's go ahead to the content for the day, kids. Now, I'm moving very quickly because we only have about 10 minutes to get through this. I'm going to start this, and we want to bring up audio on this. Go back to the beginning. This is a 1-minute clip. We can start with the split screen, and then I want you to bring this full up. I want you to watch this 1-minute clip, the science of our world and how sound affects the material plane. Pull this up.
Experiment for the cymatics music video is called a Chladni plate. Now, Chladni plate's basically a metal plate attached to the top of the speaker. There's sand on top of the plate, and you play different tones through the speaker. The plate vibrates, which forms different shapes depending on the frequency of the sound.
Well, we blew up a lot of speakers with the Chladni plate. So there was a lot of experimenting around the Chladni plate, primarily looking at how much volume we can put through there, how much sand to actually put on the plate, and the different shapes of plates and what different patterns would be created because of those shapes. But what we were really testing was what frequencies create the most interesting repeatable patterns, because that was a key point. So we ended up playing pretty much every audio frequency through the plate to see what different shapes it would form.
And for most frequencies, it doesn't really do much, but when it hits a frequency that resonates with the plate, it forms a really nice pure shape. So we found out what those tones were, and those were the tones we used to draw the plate in the video.
Very cool. So next time you see somebody, hit pause. Next time you see somebody going down the street and their subwoofer is kicking in their car and you can feel that kicking you in the chest, you go to a concert and you can feel that bass kicking you in the chest and moving your whole body. Now you understand. Now you know the power of sound. This is why it is such a powerful media to utilize. This is why it is such a powerful medium, because it literally doesn't just tickle your brain and impart information. It does what? It moves you. It permeates you, our physical world. And we're going to talk about that as we move on with this unit. Very cool. Now, we don't want to be giving free advertisement to Grammarly there, Melody. Make sure that we're going ahead and skipping these ads, please. Let's go ahead and move to the next on the playlist. All right, so I want you to watch this very quickly. I'm only going to leave this on here for just a minute. Go ahead and full screen this while I'm talking and narrating. Not only does sound affect our solid material plane, but the ethereal plane as well. Watch what happens here when particular frequencies, particular tones are applied to the air through fire. All right, that's enough. Go ahead. You guys can watch these videos on your own on playlist. We got to watch what we're doing here to make sure that we don't get YouTube strikes, and we're still trying these things out. Hey, while we're doing this, Cody, remember, go back to the various scenes, please, so to mix up the show. So we've got our B cam over here, right? There we go. Look at that. Say hey, boys. Yo. There you go. Let's go back to our widescreen cam up here in the corner, demonstrating our amazing technology. And there we got Mel sitting at the controls, as you can say. Hi there. See what's going on. And let's go ahead and take a second and pull up our audience cam as well and see our crew in here today. There we go. And pan around for us, please. All right. Pretty cool. Say hey, guys. Absolutely. They're doing great, and we're doing great. Let's go back to the front screen and split screen it, please. Excellent. Now, let's go to the next video. I want you guys to watch this video on your own when we adjourn into class. Next up, what are Hertz?
Hi, everybody. In this video, we're going to spend just a few minutes talking about frequency, looking at the spectrum, and listening. First, here's a definition of frequency.
Frequency is the speed of a sound's oscillation. It's what we hear as pitch. A slower vibrating sound wave will sound lower in pitch, and a rapidly vibrating sound wave will sound higher in pitch. The unit we use to describe this vibration is Hertz. That means the number of cycles per second. A 1000 Hertz tone will complete one full cycle in 1/1000th of a second, also called 1 millisecond. When we look at an EQ like the one in ozone, we see that the frequencies are measured in hertz and kilohertz, meaning thousands of hertz. They're represented horizontally from left to right. Look at the numbers across the top. They show the frequencies along the spectrum.
We're going to go ahead and pause this. Give me a split screen, Cody. We're going to go ahead and pause this. You can keep letting that video play, but just mute it real quick, Mel. We're going to go ahead and pause this for a minute because in the interest of brevity here, because the bell's about to ring, we're going to be losing some kids. My students can go back through and watch these videos on their own. And, of course, we'll come back in another time and discuss them here in class. Anybody watching and listening at home, please go ahead, tune in to our YouTube channel, and you can check out these videos that have loaded up on our educational playlists as well. All right, give me the front scene. Now, what I want you to do, Mel, as we're preparing here, get out of full screen, and I want you to pull up from our server the lesson that we did at the beginning of the week with the front end of the audio unit. This is where we were delivering what we call our class standards and the assignments that the students are going to use in order to attempt to meet those standards and gain competency on those tasks. So Mel's got those up, and Cody, give me a split screen, please. Let's hear it for Cody Walker in our audio. Oh, wait a minute. You guys got to set that. See how that's not centered? Get that NDI source centered in there, please. There we go. And Cody Walker in our audio booth running vMix, or in our main control booth. Let's put our hands together for Cody. Did a fabulous job. Let's put our hands together for our producers and directors. We've got Haley and Lauren in the booth as well. Put your hands together and thank them. Excellent. They're doing a great job. This is an incredibly complex system, folks, and we are just launching this for the first time this week. So the students are learning as they're going. What better way to practice their digital media arts skills than by using this in live timing? Hopefully, we'll be able to engage with you with polls and questions live at home as well, wherever you may be in our internet viewing audience. Pretty cool, interactive, high-tech education here at Jeff Tech and the Digital Media Arts program. And I'm Mr. Otero. This is one of our lesson plans, Introduction to Audio Production. Let's go ahead and full screen that, please. And this is the task that we are going to be working on this week. Let's highlight that, 1708. Trey, grab that microphone and read that for us. Okay, if you are not in my enrichment and you got to go ahead and step on out. It's cool. If you're in my enrichment, stay right here. Okay? And everybody else that is in enrichment, Nicole, if you would you go out there? Anybody that's coming in for my enrichment period, bring them in, please. Thank you. All right. Trey, go ahead and read that to us.
Students will analyze the effects of media on society.
Students are going to analyze the effects of media on society. Now, let's go back up to Read 1905. This is another one that is assigned to and assigned to a particular production project where you are going to record audio and produce 2 radio-style MP3 files. This one, 1905, students will demonstrate the ability to use industry equipment to record audio onto digital media. Give me a split screen there. Trey, when we talk about digital media in this context? The word media in this context means what?
Podcasting?
No, not yet. We're not there yet. In that task, students will demonstrate the ability to use industry equipment to record audio onto digital medias.
Such as microphones and into the computers.
A computer. In the computer is what? The hard drive is the media that the WAV file is written to. Melody, another type of media that we are recording to in the digital media studio? Where do the files go when they get stored? Sandy's saying it. Your SD cards in your cameras. These digital media types. We covered this in class last week, guys. Now we're on camera. Everybody's all clamming up. You all right? I know you guys know this stuff. We have hard drives, SSD cards. We have micro SD cards. We've got external USB drives. We've got network servers. In this context, that task is recording WAV to the hard media. In the context of the next task, pull that up. Full screen. Students will analyze the effects of media on society. What kind of media are we talking about there? Anybody? Trey, you said it earlier. What kind of media are we talking about there?
Podcasting.
Podcasting, very specifically. But there's different kinds of media, is there not? There's print media. There's television media, right? Yes, Graham? Get on it. Okay, so the task at hand now, students will analyze the effects of media on society. What project are they going to use to do that? Number one, they're going to activate the brains. They're going to do some academic research. Kids? All right. Let's go. And the students are going to analyze the effects of media on society utilizing what project? Go on down. They're going to write a 500-word essay on the history of audio production, and the development of the technologies along the way, and then the impact, split screen it, impact of Trey. What on society? Type of media.
Podcast.
The impact of podcasting on society. Who's got a favorite podcaster in the room? Give me a audience cam. All right. Ethan, you got a favorite podcaster?
Justin McElroy.
I don't know Justin McElroy. Should I get to know Justin McElroy?
Maybe.
Maybe. Is it entertaining?
Yes.
Is this podcast educational?
Kind of.
Kind of, sort of. Well, education, that's a good thing, but entertainment's good as well. We don't want to just tickle our brain, though, kids. We want to make sure that we are exploring things that are also adding to our existence and creating a more well-rounded, educated person. Anybody here have a favorite podcast that they listen to? Gary?
A hot seat.
And the hot seat is what nature of podcast?
It's where the host of it makes a person he's interviewing eat hot chicken covered in different types of hot sauce throughout the interview.
So just straight up silliness, I reckon. Yes? Okay, so the technologies that are utilized in podcasting, as we know. Microphones. We covered this when we talked about our DAWs, right? Microphones, audio editing software. Yes? Sound effects. Like, let's go ahead and pull up the, give me a split screen here. Let's introduce what's happening here on the back end with DJ Malachi. Give me a split screen with him in there, guys. And we can have him wave and say hello. Give us some music, man. Trigger that. All right. So what do we got here? Here's Malachi with his MIDI deck, pulling in music and sound effects. Go ahead and pull something up. There you go. Drum kits triggered. And you can trigger sound effects and music for the show. which you should be adding transitions and sound effects as we're doing this in the show live, right? So important part of podcasting is also on-the-fly MIDI production and audio management to add a little bit of jazz and pizzazz to the show. So, for instance, when we transition to the full screen here, right, bring us up some sound effects. Let's sync that up. Okay, you ready? On 3, transition to full screen, and go ahead and give me a merge transition, guys, and give me a couple sound effects to go along with it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go. You see how that adds a little bit of dimension to the show. Very cool. All right, let's bring that back down. Mel, we're going to change out in the split screen. Let's change out that NDI source. We're going to go back to our YouTube channel. Now, what I want to do, I do want to share with you all, because we have the class in here. This is very important. Research skills, so important. We're going to talk about, there's 2 things here, and I'm going to issue you a challenge. We're going to show you a short video which gives you some basic tips and tricks for effective Google searching for the purpose of academic research. So important, because your job, you need to not only provide the essay, but you also have to provide how many resources, Trey? Do you remember? 2 additional resources from the ones that I have provided with you. So you need to research the history of audio, the technologies behind it, how we went from the late 1800s, the early 1900s, all the way up through the early part of the 20th century, into the digital age, into the 80s and into the 90s, and now where we are today with digital and MIDI audio production, and then the advent of the podcast phenomenon and how podcasting has affected our society, for good or for bad. In order to get that information out in your essay form, you need to do first what? In order to get that information all compiled and out into essay form, you need to first do what?
Research.
Research. How do you properly research on the internet? Have you guys ever searched something on the internet and you go, that ain't what I'm searching for? Yeah? That happens all the time. This short video I'm going to show you, go next scene or next in the video list, tips for effective research strategies. Let's go ahead and watch this. Full screen it.
We'll show you how to develop a basic search string using 3 practical tools: Boolean operators, quotation marks, and the asterisk or star symbol. These 3 tools can be used in most databases and will help make sure you are getting the most relevant results for your research without spending hours staring at a computer screen. The first of these tools is Boolean operators, which involves using the words and, or, and not. When incorporated into your search strategy, these words are always written in capital letters and can be used as often as you need them. And retrieves items that include 2 different concepts together. For example, an article that talks about caffeine and sprint performance. Or is useful when it doesn't matter which concept shows up in your results, as long as one concept is included. For example, searching for teenagers or young adults will likely provide information on similar types of people, even though you're using different terms. Not can remove search results you may not need by filtering out specific words. For example, if you were interested in information on outdoor walking patterns and kept getting information about treadmill walking, you could search for walking patterns, not treadmill, which would help to remove some of this information from your list. Truncation involves the use of the star symbol or asterisk. This symbol comes at the end of your root word and is helpful if you're using a concept that might have different endings. For example, by using the star symbol at the end of the word teen, you would get results for teen, teens, teenage, teenager, or teenagers, without having to type in all of these words separately. You could even use it for a word like Canada by dropping the A. This way, you'd get information that used the words Canada, Canadian, or Canadians. By putting quotation marks around a specific concept or phrase, you will be able to keep these words together in your search. For example, if you didn't put the term heart rate in quotation marks, you could get articles that talk about either of these words separately, bringing up unrelated terms like heart disease or mortality rate. Finally, it's important to keep in mind that there is no such thing as a perfect search. Don't be afraid to try different options to see which techniques work best. For more help with developing an effective search strategy, contact your subject librarian or visit any library service desk.
Valuable tips for academic research. Go ahead and bring up our logo, Mel, so you want to go back to the beginning of the playlist. And our booth, bring me up the split screen, please. And we should have our audience cam. There we go. Hey, go ahead and pan around there, Lauren. You want to go ahead and grab the remote control and pan around to the class. I want to ask you guys a quick question. Did anybody in here, let's pan around so we can see the whole class. Did anybody in here, you want to grab the remote, please? There you go. And do it smoothly. Keep your finger on the remote and come back around this way. And actually, you come around and show the desk here. You can see the kind of behind the scenes here. This is pretty cool. Did anybody here in this video, anybody here recognize any techniques that you've ever used when doing research and doing searches on Google? No? All new information. That's what we're here for, expanding our knowledge base. Very cool. Now, here's one of my challenges to you. We know the 5 tasks that have been assigned to this particular unit. You are producing audio, you're recording audio, you're producing audio, you're mapping audio, you're planning audio, you're editing audio, and all the various tasks that are associated with that, and then you got to show your work and post it to your portfolio to get credit for it. We all understand all that, yes? Now, the research component, the writing component, we went over that with your essay. We all understand that. We know where we're shooting for, yes? Anybody here interested in knocking out additional tasks, killing a couple birds with one digital stone? Yeah? They were shaking their heads? Awesome. Good job. Why would you not? If you can do the work and get credit for additional tasks, why would you not? So here is your charge for today. Anybody that can come to me, go to that YouTube playlist on our YouTube channel, watch that video again, identify 1 or 2 or 3 perhaps of those techniques, the search techniques that this lady went over. And I want you to identify any task in our main class task list, any task at all that you think by demonstrating those techniques when you give your report up on our website, if you can show I utilized the Boolean search term technique, I utilized the quotation technique. If you have any tasks on our task list that you've identified by the end of the day tomorrow, I'll give you credit for those tasks. So as you're doing your research, you utilize those techniques, you document how you utilize them and what the results are, and you've identified them for me by the end of the day tomorrow, you'll gain those additional tasks as well. And then you'll be ahead next year when we go into web search units and we talk about proper search techniques. You may be able to sit here in my class and say, Mr. E, I already did this and I proved proficiency on that. And I'm going to go, yeah, right. And you're going to go, yeah, I did, really. It's up on my portfolio. And I'm going to go, yeah, right. And you're going to go, yeah, come here, let me show you. And you're going to show me and I'm going to go, yeah, right. Right on. All right. Go take a free day, kid, because you know what? You already demonstrated that proficiency. Good job. Sound like a good deal? By the end of the day tomorrow. Everybody got that deal? Got that in your pocket? That's your currency for the day. All right, let's pull up a full screen. I think that's it for the day. DJ Malachi, well, actually, I want to introduce our crew real quick. We saw our studio and our PM and AM class mixed here. Go ahead and give me a split screen and pull up your producer cam. I want you to see Cody in here running vMix, doing a great job, by the way. Let's put our hand for Cody. Cody Walker. Now, I want to give him some props because this young man did a great job representing our school last year. He is a whiz at audio production and actually scored 3rd place in the state of Pennsylvania in the Skills USA audio and radio production contest last year. And we're sending him and one of my other students, Brooke Holman, down this year again, where we feel confident they're going to take home the gold. So, Cody, great job running VMix today. Great job representing our school. And we're looking forward to see how you work out at Skills this year. Another audio whiz, DJ Master Malachi. Let's pull up his webcam and say hi to Malachi. And give us some music going out of the show, son. Something cool, something hip.
Cool and edgy.
What do we got?
Radical.
Cool, hip, edgy, like us.
Epic.
Well, like me. You guys are just, you're. There you go. Wait a minute. Give me a split screen and bring him in there. Malachi. Okay, hold on a minute. Give me a split screen with Malachi in it. Let that play. Cody, give me that split screen. We're waiting. There you go. Malachi, do me a favor, buddy. How exactly does that qualify as cool, hip, and edgy? It's kind of wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And weird.
Turn that down a little. Give me that in there.
It's quirky and weird.
It is a little quirky and weird, I would say. What do you think, Sandy? How would you classify the mood that music is imparting into our show? What do you think?
Not the mood you're looking for.
Not the mood that I assigned. I was looking for something kind of hip. But let's go ahead and change that up. Give me something a little bit harder edge, maybe.
Edgy.
Oh no. That's depressing.
This is so sad. Can we hit 10 likes?
We need the views, man. Views.
No, come on, man. That's a little disco feel to it. A little 70s feel.
Smash that like.
So actually, it's kind of cool that we're doing this because the last unit that we did with audio or video production, one of the tasks that the students had to meet was to create a video production and utilize audio for, what was it?
Mood and effect.
For the desired mood and effect. So they chose the mood and effect that they wanted to impart to their viewers, and they chose audio that helped to affect that. So we're seeing that right now. Let's go ahead and let that play. Give us a full screen. Let's put our hands together for DJ Malachi. Woo! Good job, everybody. Bring up the full screen scene A and let that music play. There we go. Well, I would say I am very, very impressed. You guys did an awesome job for our first show. I want you to stick around because we're also using this new system for the Jeff Tech Jumpstart, our first ever in the 50 years of this school. The first time that we are going live inside the school in high-definition video to every computer and every big screen, simultaneous streams on our Jeff Tech webpage, and, of course, our Jeff Tech Facebook page. Very, very excited about that. That is starting during enrichment period, 11 o'clock next Friday. We're going to do it. A weekly news and review show all about our wonderful school, Jeff Tech. Of course, you are watching right now the Digital Edge for let's zoom on in here. Mel Forrest running our board here. Trey over here. Cole at the desk. Bring it on over. Excellent. Let's bring up our guest cam up here. Our class cam. Well, there's our B cam. There it is. And let's bring up our overhead cam so we can see our kids. We'll say out thanks to them. And we got DJ Malachi there in the corner. And, of course, full screen it. And get ready with our logo. Bring that over. Okay, Cody, when I bring out the show, I want you to bring up our stinger. Are you ready to go? And you have been watching The Digital Edge. My name is Mr. Otero, coming to you from the studios of the... No, not yet. Do that again. You've been watching The Digital Edge, coming to you live from the studios of the Digital Media Arts Studios. Wait a minute. I screwed it up. Do that again. Go back. You've been watching The Digital Edge, coming to you live from the studios of the Digital Media Arts program in the IT Academy at Jeff Tech, the school of choice. Visit us online at dmastudioonline.com. Thanks so much for watching. For all of my friends and my students here in the building, peace. We'll see you next time. Bring it out. That